Okay, becoming a professional network marketer, part 4. So some of you have been following through the series of the trainings that I've been putting together, named Becoming a Professional Network Marketer. Is basically a bunch of tips and ideas how you can turn this part-time hobby business idea into a serious business that gives serious income. But in order to get to that level, your skills have to grow. And this is exactly my idea of giving you some tips on how to build those skills, on how to become a proud owner of a skill set that will make you a professional network marketer. So the secret for success. Now, one thing that I heard time and time again from the top network marketing leaders is that activity beats everything. You know, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling that the business has been down, you know, it's summer, everybody were on holidays, you know, etc., and business slowed down, etc., etc., whatever it is, activity beats it. You know, if you start doing the business, if you start working on your business, if you start becoming active and doing things, booking appointments, starting the presentations, etc., you'll see how quickly those depressions will disappear and how any doubts will disappear, etc. Because once you are active, you know, everything goes away. It's all about doing. You know, because doing, it will solve any problems, you will get rid of any distractions, etc. So many people, you know, they feel that, oh, you know, I don't know what to do, etc. You know, the business doesn't grow as fast as I expected, you know, the money didn't came as fast as I expected. It doesn't matter. Start doing things, you know, start you know, getting trained, start meeting people, start booking appointments, and any doubts will disappear, because activity will bring results, and results will give you the motivation beyond anything that your sponsor or anybody else can provide you with. You know, so concentrate on activity. That's the main thing that I can suggest. You know, another question is that people always ask, and or at least think to themselves, is when do you go full time? You know, and my advice is a minimum of 3 years. Why, you might ask? Because by then you will have a skill set to you know, sustain that sort of business. One thing that I said last week was that there are exceptions where people sometimes go right to the top within the first couple of months, but they do come down very often as well. Why? Because they haven't got the skill set. You know, they got to the level faster than what they were prepared to do, you know, and they cannot sustain that sort of business. And your story is also a lot more relatable when you're doing it part-time. You see, if you come up to somebody and you go, well, I don't need to work, you know, I just do this, you know, little business that I started, you know, a few months ago, and I just sit at home, you know, and I don't do anything. People can't relate to that. But if you say, look, you know, I'm doing this part-time, a couple of hours a day, etc., and this is what it's giving me, and this is what I'm making right now, people will be able to relate to that. People will think, well, I could do part-time as well. You know, I could do something in addition to my job, and I could really benefit from that. And like Jim Rohn used to say, you know, he said, you know, he was working till it was pretty much insane to carry on working, because the story was so powerful. He would come to somebody when he first started, and he would say, look, you know, I'm making half as much as in my job by doing this part-time business. And then it became as much as in his job, you know, and he would say, look, you know, I make part-time the same thing as I make in my full-time job. And then he started making double in his part-time business than in his job, and he would come to people and say, look, you know, I'm making double in my part-time business than I make in my full-time job. So he carried on working just to keep the story alive, you know, and then he had to quit at some point because he just became completely insane to carry on working. But doing it part-time is not a bad thing. Don't think that, oh, I need to get out of the job as soon as possible. You know, build your business. Make sure your income is there. You know, solid for 3 to 6 months. You know, not that the first month you hit, you know, £1,000 or £2,000 or whatever is your threshold for, you know, the thing where you want to go full-time. Don't just pack everything in and just go full-time. Make sure it is stable. You have a stable structure with stable leaders that are also earning the money, that will be carry on doing the business, etc. Not just, you know, dive into it full on. So make sure the money is there before you decide to pack in your job or whatever you're presently doing. Approaching cold market is something of a vital thing, but people get really confused about it. So what would be the tips about approaching cold market? First of all, don't approach it for as long as you can. You know, a lot of the times people say, I would rather speak to strangers instead of speaking to my family members or relatives or whatever, you know, the people that I know already. I don't feel confident, I'd rather go and speak to strangers. But what you don't realize or don't appreciate is that any stranger that you speak to, he's a relative of somebody else as well. You know, so some other network marketers will approach your family members if you don't do, and they will sponsor them, and I can promise you that. I had my team members turning up to their business opportunity presentation and seeing their relative sitting across the table and say, what are you doing here? And they go, what are you doing here? You know, and they've both been doing the business for the last 6 months and never told each other about it. So they are completely different teams doing the business, you know. So don't do that mistake. First thing you need to do is approach the people you know already. Why? Because they know you, they trust you, and they like you already. Well, hopefully they like you. So this way you'll make your life a lot easier. You know, but once you start approaching the cold market, you know, what would you say? Well, ask them, you know, what do you do? You know, and they will ask you the same in return. And if you have been listening to the last couple of trainings, what will you say? You'll say, I'm a professional network marketer and a teacher. I'm a professional network marketer and a nurse, or whatever you do. And they will say, really? You know, what is a network marketer? Or, you know, what do you do as a professional network marketer? You know, and once you explain them, you'll say, yes, it is for real, you know, and you know, I'll get your contact info and I'll give you a call later. You know, or if you've been served in a shop or whatever, you can say, look, you did a great job, and I have something that might be of interest to you. You know, it may be for you, it may not be for you, but let's get a cup of coffee, you know, and we can talk more about that. Why do I say that? Is because you don't try and sponsor these people in the same environment that you met them. Very often, if you try and sponsor the person, you know, if you met a person at the party and you try and sponsor them in the party, or you met the person in a shop and you try and sponsor them in the shop, if you try and sponsor the person in the same environment that you met them, very often you'll have that salesman alarm going up. And the person will just try and distance themselves from you, and they will start saying, no, you know, get away from me, I don't want to do this, etc., etc. So try and get them out of the environment where you met them. You know, so make a contact, exchange contact details, say, look, you know, I appreciate the service you've done for me, or I appreciate, you know, the conversation we just had, you know, I really like chatting with you. Can we meet for a cup of coffee, you know, or can I send you some info, or, you know, can I call you later, you know, I might have something of interest to you. But, you know, don't try and sponsor them right away, you know, all the time. Because very often when you meet them outside of the environment that you met them, you will be a lot more likely to sponsor them. So try and do that, and you'll see that it will work very often. Okay, getting people to events. Again, something that a lot of growing leaders struggle with is getting people to attend events, getting people to come to the opportunity meetings, to national conferences, to webinars like this one, etc. You know, so we know the major events are so critical in order to help people grow, etc. So in my experience, first thing, be passionate about it. Just go, you know, let's do it together. Let's go together. We're going to have loads of fun. You know, in addition to that, we're going to learn a bunch. You know, we're going to deepen our knowledge. We're going to build our skills, etc. You know, and we're going to meet lots of new people, you know, people that are in this business and they are succeeding. So you will give us lots of different tips, you know, etc. Also, we're going to experience stuff. You know, just being there sometimes is more than just learning something. You know, sometimes you go to an event and you come out of it and you can't remember a single thing that you've learned, a concrete tip or a phrase that you need to say, but once you leave out of it, it's just like an experience. You feel like whoa, you know, you just had to be there, you know, you just had to be there. And, you know, yes, when you first start, the money is not plenty, so communicate with your team members. Say, look, let's share a car, let's share a room, let's get food from the supermarket, and not eat in the restaurant or whatever. Save this way. It doesn't matter. What matters is the outcome. And give people reasons why to come. Why would you come? Sell them on the actual event. So what will it give for the future? What will meeting others mean to them? Will that be exciting? Will that raise their passion about the business? Will it be fun? Will it be an adventure? For me, very often it's adventure. It's every time you go to one of these training events, or I'm not talking about grand things like national conferences or international picnics and stuff like that. That just blows your mind completely. But it's always an adventure. Things that you experience. It's never the same. And finally, what will be the outcome of going there? So sell people on what will it give you. What will happen, when you come back from that? What will be the difference in your business? And very often, I just tell my story. When I went to my first conference, this is what it gave me. When I started attending opportunity meetings regularly, this is what it done for me. And even now, if I feel down and I go to a business opportunity meeting, this is what it does for me. It recharges my batteries. It makes me a lot more focused. It gives me new ideas on how to approach people, etc., etc. So just give them concrete things. Why would they go there? And what will it give to them? Talking to the team is really, really important. And what you must understand that in every conversation, someone is buying it and somebody is selling it. It's an idea. You might not be selling a physical thing, but you're selling somebody on your idea. So if your team member is giving you excuses and you do nothing about it, then you're actually buying their excuses. You're buying, you're justifying their excuses, whatever. Got no time, got no money, got kids, whatever. I've heard all of these excuses over the last 2 years. So if you taking that and you're just saying, okay, then, okay, don't worry about it then, don't worry about attending the next training, because you do have children or because of whatever, then you're buying their excuses. If you motivate your team members into coming to events or doing the business or achieving things, that you are selling them on your idea. So my advice is stop buying the excuses and start selling empowerment. Be the person that empowers the team members to do something about it, to stay in the business. Just a couple of days ago, I had one of my team members, team leaders, ringing me up, and she was organizing a meeting with 4 people, and all four of them canceled a night before, giving her the worst excuses in the world, and she called me, nearly in tears, nearly, ready to give up on the business. And I had a conversation with her about, I don't know, we spoke for about half an hour, maybe good 45 minutes. And after that, I believe that not only that I stopped her from considering, even contemplating an idea of quitting, but I actually recharged her batteries into going after those people again, and going after different people, and employing different ideas and different strategies to carry on with the business. And this is what you will become. And you have to sell your ideas. If you love this business, if you're excited about it, if you truly believe in this business, then sell these ideas. Then carry this message across to others, because it is so vital that you do that. Now, I can see there's quite a few people on the call tonight, and how many of you have a skeptical war market? Just by the show of hands, please. Raise your hand if you have skeptical war market. If your family, friends, and work colleagues are skeptical about the business, just raise your hand, please. And I can see like nearly everybody is actually raising their hands. So Ian is saying, "Yep, me too." So we established that. So everybody's got skeptical war market, right? So what do you need to do then? Well, you need to do a couple of things. First thing, you need to understand that you're not there to convince them to do anything. You're not there to convince them to do anything. You know, stop with, come on, join my business, come on, try this product, come on, you know, give it a go, you know, etc. You're not that person. Forget about that person. If you were that person, you know, scrap that altogether, become a different person. You know, don't be emotionally attached to the outcome. And I know I said that already. You know, don't be emotionally attached that, oh, if just that person joined me, if just that, make sure that they understand what you have to offer. They understand what you do for a living. You know, they understand that you are a professional network marketer. And then, you know, all you need to say, look, you know, it might be for you. It might not be for you. It might make you a lot of money. It might not. But my job here is to educate you, and that's all. You know, I don't really care if you join or not. You know, I'm just here to educate you. So be that person instead. And what if they say no? Great. You know, if they say no right away before they even allow you to explain about the business, you know, and there are people, you know, I had the same thing. As soon as I open my mouth, the person goes, no, you know, not interested, you know, whatever, you know, heard all of that, you know, not bothered. Fine. You know, all I need to say to them, I say, look, okay. But don't say later that I haven't tried showing you, or that I haven't tried educating you about this business, you know, or about this opportunity, you know. So don't come later, you know, saying that I haven't told you so, you know. I never say that don't come joining my business later, because I always keep the door open. But I say to people, look, you know, I want to show you something. I think it would be of use to you, and if you just give me a chance, that might actually change your life. But if they say no right away, then okay, but don't say that I didn't try telling you. However, if they heard what I've got to offer and they say, no, that's not for me, that's fine too. That's not a problem. But if your situation changes, be sure to let me know. So I will always keep an open door to people. You know, be it my warm market or my cold market, you know, anyone that I approach, I never shut the door on them. I say, look, you know, great. It may be not a good time for you, or maybe, you know, it's just, it isn't really for you. But if your situation changes, if, you know, a few months down the line, you see that you could use a couple of £100 a month extra, or you could use change in your career direction, be sure to get in touch with me. This is my business card. You know, you've got all my contact details on it. You know, be sure to let me know, you know. And I might contact them myself, you know, a couple of months later down the line, just to check, you know, has your situation changed, you know, or how are you doing anyway, you know, etc. So keep the door open at all times. Now, financial lessons are so important, and I keep pushing this message across, and I want everybody to understand that things don't happen overnight, and things does, you know, go up and down sometimes. So one of the guys that I've been learning a lot lately from is a guy called Eric Worre. Now, he's a millionaire network marketer. You know, within the last maybe 20 years or so, he's been in and out of network marketing industry. He has become a millionaire network marketer. But this is his story. Look at some of the facts. He had 18 jobs before he got to MLM. First of all, yeah, before he even approached network marketing, he had 18 jobs before that. He struggled for the first 2-3 years. So he didn't hit the gold bucket right away. He didn't make million in the first 3 months. That didn't happen. For the first 2-3 years, he struggled like many people who've been successful in network marketing. And I hear that time and time again. You know, a guy called Tom Schreiter, you know, he didn't make anything for the first year and 10 months. You know, and people later asked him, why didn't he quit? And his answer is always that I didn't know that I could quit. But that's another story completely. But it doesn't happen overnight, guys. You know, so people do struggle within the first couple of years, and it's okay if you are struggling. You know, don't feel that you are the only, you know, odd one struggling. Lots of people struggle. Then he had to rebuild his organization pretty much from scratch about 6-7 times within those first couple of years. You know, he would build something up and it would go down. He would build another leg up and he would come down. You know, and he would build another team up and he would go crashing down. So if you had leaders, you know, in quotation marks, who started, shining, and you thought this is going to be my next pearl orchid, and they collapsed altogether and they quit the business, etc. Don't feel that this is it. If that happened to me, I need to go looking for another company, or I need to go back to my work and just work for £6 an hour for the rest of my life, or whatever it is. That does happen, and that does happen more often than you can imagine. So organizations do collapse, teams do go down, and that happens. Don't worry about it. Just start again. Learn from the lesson. If your team, you've been building a team and something happened, maybe you haven't looked after them for a couple of months. Maybe you just left them on their own. Maybe you didn't provide enough information, or whatever it is, and it didn't work out. Try and reflect on that. So don't just go and do the same over and over again, and because if you do same thing over and over again and you expect different results, that is actually the first sign of madness. So what you need to do is actually go back and look, what did I do wrong? What did go wrong in this situation that it didn't work out? Why this person quit, or why this team collapsed? What can I change next time in order to make it better? But it will happen. It most likely will happen to all of you. He became one of the top distributors in his second MLM company. So I was thinking whether to include this line or not, and then I thought I will do, because what Eddie Worre himself says, and that's what I'm going to include in the last slide of this training, that you have to stick to one company. However, a lot of leaders in network marketing industry, I know that, succeeded in the second or third or fourth network marketing company. Now, the reason why I'm including that is not if FM is your first company and you're struggling here to say, look, quit FM and start another company, maybe it'll work out to you there. No, what I'm saying is give it a couple of years. Give it at least 5 years before you even consider doing another company. But what I'm saying, sometimes things don't work out for people. Sometimes they don't succeed. Maybe they don't get the right support. Maybe they don't get whatever. And I have people in my team who came from another company. Now, at first, I used to feel really, really strange about saying to people, look, stay with your company, stick to your company, give it at least 5 years, when I actually have team members who came from different companies. Now, myself, for me, FM was the first company, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still building this business, etc. But there are people in my organization who came from another company. So what I'm saying, maybe it wasn't the company. Maybe it was the fact that they didn't get support that they needed. Maybe there weren't tools that they needed. Maybe it's just it wasn't for them, or whatever the reason. And if they found FM to be better than what they were doing, great, But I want to encourage those people to stick to whatever they do. So if they are now with FM, forget about what happened in the past. Just concentrate on what you're doing right now. Concentrate on FM and give it a proper go. I'll do whatever I can to help you to succeed in this business, but just don't think about it that, because I left one company, I started with FM, and now, I'm not going to succeed in any company. Look, that happens to even the biggest leaders in the world. Okay, so next thing what happened to Eric Worre, he became a president of that company. Then actually, to cut the long story short, he realized that the company owners were kind of crooks. He tried changing them, but they didn't want it to change. So he left that company. He started his own personal development network marketing company, which he sold a couple of years later. He became a consultant for network marketing companies, which again ended in a couple of years. He was making about $1 million a year doing consulting, but that changed as well. And to cut the long story short, he actually built an empire of about $9 million, and he went to zero within about 90 days. So he had about 9 million portfolio in shares, and he was making about $1 million a year as a consultant. And he started a project, a new company that basically ate up all of his money and didn't actually deliver what he thought he will, and he actually gone bust within 90 days. But what most people would do at this point, they would quit. They would have quit long before that anyway. But when people are struck with things like that, they would quit. But what Mr. Eric Worre went out to do, he actually became not only, he didn't hit the zero, he actually went about $2 million in debt after this project didn't work out for him. But what he did, he said, look, he reviewed what he'd been doing within the last couple of years, and he said, okay, network marketing was the thing that worked for me well, why don't I go back and do that? And he went on within the next couple of years to build again an organization that gives him at the moment about $100,000 a month. A business, a network marketing team, a network marketing organization that is actually paying him about $1 million a year now. So what he says, when you look at these leaders, when you look at the biggest paid network marketers in the world, don't think that they are perfect. They are flawless and they are the best, and I will never achieve that. They all are people, they all make bad decisions, they all make good decisions, and it's just a part of life, it's part of the learning curve. And you will make bad decisions sometimes, and you will fail sometimes, but what you need to do is pick up and just carry on. Look at people like that who achieved and just use them as your inspiration. The next thing is a famous saying by Jim Rohn, that profits are better than wages. You see, one thing you will have to achieve in this business is change your mindset. Now you see, wage is working for someone, is exchanging your time for money. Profits is when you work for yourself. Well, you must understand that nobody can achieve financial freedom, with few exceptions, in a wage system. If you work, if you're exchanging your time for money, you will not achieve financial freedom and you will not become rich. The few exceptions that I found so far is sports, footballers, basketball players, hockey players, etc. People that make, 100, 200 grand a week. So these people can create financial freedom by having a job, which means that if they stop doing that, it would stop coming. So it's not a residual income, but they make a lot of money. People in entertainment, singers, actors, etc. They can earn quite good income on doing that. And then a few of the top Fortune 500 company directors. These are the only people that ever make financial freedom, ever become rich from a job. Most people just live payslip to payslip. And most people stay in wage system because of low risk and low reward. They know it's less risk. It's guaranteed £6 an hour, and they just stick to it. The next thing up, that makes a lot more people financially free is traditional business. However, with traditional business, you have enormous risk and a massive investment. A lot of businesses go bust within the first 5 years, and you need a lot of money to start your own business. The next better thing up is franchise. Franchise, again, is a lot like traditional business, however, is a so-called turnkey business, or a business in a box. It's a ready-made business, whereas you get to use all the attributes of the existing company, and you just invest to buy that, be it a Subway shop, be it a McDonald's, be it a Costa Coffee, but it does cost. It can be anywhere from £250,000 to over £1 million to get started with that. And it is a lot less risk, though, because it's already a proven system, but it's a lot of money. However, network marketing, as you might have guessed, is the best choice because it combines the low risk and high reward by using leveraging, which means that you do something once and you get paid forever. You build your organization once and you get paid year after year after year after year. You leverage your efforts. You on your own, even if you went out and sold a product, how much of that product can you sell within a day? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, you will reach a ceiling where you cannot physically sell more by yourself. But what if you have an organization of 30,000 people that just sell one product each? That's 30,000 products a day. You could never do that on your own, in your wildest imagination, And that can happen every single day because selling one product a day is not that difficult, is it? So that's why I'm saying, that you leverage your efforts. Leveraging is like the best thing in the world. You know, if there is a saying, you know, I don't even remember who said that, that if you give me a place to stand on and a leverage large enough, I can move an earth. You know, with leverage, it's just incredible what you can achieve. You can achieve 10, 100, or 1,000 fold what you actually earn in your job. And time is of the essence. You know, like I mentioned earlier on, there are a few exceptions, a few people that are exceptions to the rule that make money fast. But most people, and there were studies made on that. You know, there was a study done on top network marketers in the world who make from $80,000 a month to $400,000 a month. And a study was made, and they were asked, you know, how long they've been doing the business. And believe it or not, it was found proportionate for the time they've been doing the business. So the person who was earning $80,000 a month was the person that had been the least in the business for just 8 years in network marketing. And the lady who was making $400,000 a month, she was doing the business for 21 years. She was for 21 years in network marketing. So as good as the get-rich overnight scheme stories sound, more often than not, it will take time. And the people that spend most of the time, that's stuck long enough with the businesses, are the people that are making the biggest checks in this industry. You know, and it's up to you. You know, you can jump up and down and you can be impatient, but if you listen to whatever the biggest leaders say, is give it time. You know, give it time. It will come. You know, and this lady actually who was making £400,000 a month, she was asked, she was said, look, if there was a rule that once you start earning a certain amount in this business, you get deleted off the system and you have to start it over again, you know, what would you do? You know, she was asked. You know what she said? She said, I would fill in my calendar. I would start booking appointments like there's no tomorrow. So the secret in network marketing, as you might have guessed already, is presentations. You're just meeting people, you know. Costa Coffee at 9 in the morning, Costa Coffee at 10 in the morning, Costa Coffee at 11 in the morning, you know, kitchen table at 12, you know, in the noon, etc. Meeting people. You know, and again, we're coming back to that action that we started with. You know, if you put in action into the business, it just starts giving you results and it keeps you motivated as well. You know, just yesterday, I went off to do an opportunity meeting in a town about 20 miles away from where I live, and there was only one new person that came to this opportunity meeting, and that person I found through an advertisement on the internet, you know, and she was the only person that replied to the ads, so I thought that was a complete disaster. And the only person that replied to the ad, she came to the business opportunity meeting and she really liked the business. She already has sales experience of going door to door in the past, etc. So she's like a perfect a prospect for the business. And just that one person boosted all of my motivation and mood for the day, if not for the week. You know, so again, it's just action. That was a little bit of action on my part, going there and meeting that person, that changed all of it for me. Now, do you have to push the product? You know, do you have to be that, you know, the salesman, you know, that stands, you know, on the street and say, hey, have a look over here, you know, have a look what I've got, you know, I've got 5 watches, you know, up under my, you know, sleeve. No, you don't have to be. You know, what we are creating here is we're creating consumer web. You know, a web of people who enjoy the product. This is the first thing. So you need to be enjoying the product first of all. Once you do that, you know, if I like someone, if I like it, you know, and I know someone that has a need for that product, then I will recommend it and then I will share it. You know, so I'll never go, hey, have a look at my perfume. I'll always say, do you use perfume? And the person will say, yes, I do. And then I'll say, how much do you usually pay? And they will say, this much. And then I'll say, what about if I knew of a way of getting a better quality perfume at the third of the price that you usually pay? Would you be open in hearing more about that? And if and only if the person says, yes, I would, only then I will share it with them. So they have a need. I have determined that they have a need for my product. And then you can say, look, I'll let all the other people know about the products as well. And that's what I do. And as your customers and distributors start sharing these products, then your network starts growing. So first of all, you need to be the user. You need to enjoy the product, then you need to recommend it to the people around you, and then you need to teach those people around you to recommend it further. This is how your distributor network grows. Not by selling like there's no tomorrow. Yes, some people do that. We have one person in our company that sells 600-700 bottles a month, which is fantastic. But that is not an average story. Most people who make it in this business, they create a consumer network, people who use the product themselves and recommend it to those who know. So this is it, boys and girls. That's it for tonight.